Assalamualaikum dear students. Hope you are well by the grace of Almighty Allah. Welcome to NIBS Home School. I am Muhammad Imdadul Haq, Assistant Teacher of Mathematics, National Degree University School, Rashid. Dear students, today we are going to start the class of new session, that is 2021. This is the first class of class 9. The subject is higher math, and I will take the higher math class. And as this is the first class, I will take today's class on first chapter of higher math. The name of the chapter is Set and Function. The name of the chapter is Set and Function. And in this today's class, I will discuss some basic things here. Okay, dear students, I hope you will follow the class very attentively. And now I am going to start today's class. Okay, dear students, as this is the first class, today's topic is Chapter 1, Part 1, Basic Discussion. In this part, when I complete the class, you will be able to learn some topics, and that is your learning objective. And at first, I will tell your learning objective of this class. When I complete the class, you will be able to learn what is set, how to denote set and elements of set, methods of expressing set, different types of set. It means different sets. You will be able to learn from our today's class. Okay, dear students. So let us know at first what is set. What is set? I have written the definition. Do you know the concept of set is given by at first George Cantor, a mathematician. George Cantor invented set, and according to his theorems, we'll continue the class and we'll give you the definition. A well-defined collection of objects of the real world or of the conceptual realm is called set. It means that in this world you will see different types of things. Suppose if I ask you a set of natural numbers. Dear students, you know the numbers 1, you know the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This type of numbers is known as natural numbers. So a set formed by this number is known as natural number. If I ask you a glass set, you will understand that by there are 6 glasses. If I say you a dinner set, you will some objects, you will see some object there. Suppose there are some bowls, there are some small bowls, and there are some spoons, there are some cups for taking tea. It means that you will see these fixed items that is fixed from the beginning for a dinner set. And in this way, the objects of a set are well defined. For this we say the objects of a set are well defined. Okay, dear students, so you have to know some important thing. The set are denoted by generally capital letters of English alphabet. Suppose A, B, C, D, these capital letters. So if we denote the set of natural numbers, suppose we can denote this by N, capital letter N, the set of natural numbers. And you need to remember that when express set, we have to enclose the objects of set by the second bracket. Objects of set we have to enclose by the second bracket. And these objects are known as the elements of set. When an object is the element of the set, then we can say 1,
element of n. It means 1 is a member of n. This is a Greek letter. This sign is known as element. So we can read this as 1 belongs to n. 1 belongs to n. 1 is contained in n, or 1 belongs to n. We can read this in this way. But if we say 3 by 5, this is a fraction. But fraction is not contained in n, so we can say 3 by 5 is not contained in n. So this is not element. This sign is known as not element. So we can say 3 by 5 is not contained in n. It means that 3 by 5 does not belong to n. Okay, dear students, so we can say this is belong to and this is not belong to. This does not belong to n. Okay, now I am showing this. The definition of set: a well-defined collection of objects of the real world or of the conceptual realm is called set. Example: suppose P is a set. P equal to 1, 4, 9, 16, 25 denotes the set of squares of the integers which are less than 6. What does it mean? It means that here I have given an example of set. The set is denoted by capital letter P and the objects are enclosed by second bracket, and here 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, these are the objects. These objects are known as the elements of the set, and all these numbers 1, 4, 9 are the perfect square numbers or square of integers. Okay? And another example is given. Suppose A is a set of all students of class 8 of NIEVS. Suppose A is a set and the elements of set or the members of set are the all students of class 8 of NIEVS. It means National Ideal English Version School. Okay, dear students. Now let us know some important informations about set. Generally, set is denoted by capital letter of English alphabet, and the objects of set are denoted enclosed by second bracket. Enclosed by second bracket. Each of the objects of set is called element of set. Each of the objects of set are called element of set. Elements of set is denoted by small letter, digit, or other symbols. Okay, the object or element can be denoted by letter, digit, or other symbols, or other objects may be the element of set. Okay, then the symbol, this symbol, this is a Greek letter epsilon. This symbol element is used to denote the element of a set, and we say if one is an element of A, then we say one belongs to A, and read as one belongs to A. If it is not, then I have shown here one is not element or not belongs to the set. Okay. Now I will say you, or I will discuss now methods of expressing set. How can we express set? There are two methods of expressing set. Dear students, you know. You have learned in class 8, the methods are: first one, tabular method or roster method. Tabular method or roster method. The method in which all the elements are denoted. Here is written the definition: tabular method. The method in which all the members are listed and put inside the second bracket. And if there are more than one element, then elements are separated by commas, is called tabular method or roster method. Okay, dear students, now see here I am writing a set A. A is the set of A, B, C, D. Here the elements of a set are A, B, C, D. These are letter symbols, these are elements, and we have used comma after each element. Here is comma. Okay, so elements are listed here in enclosed by the second bracket, and after each element we have used comma. So methods of expressing set. This method is known as roster method or tabular method. It means that in this method all the elements are listed in the set, inside the set, listed inside the set. But if I write, suppose B is a set, B equal to X such that X is the student of class 9 of NIEVS. NIEVS. What does it mean? It means that the elements of this set are not given, only the property or the condition is given. This type of set is known as, this type of method for expressing set is known as set builder method. This method is known as set builder method. That is set builder method here, the method in which all the elements are not listed, rather their common property is described. Rather their common property is described. All the students of class 9 of NIEVS, it means that their common property is they are the student of class 9 of NIEVS. Okay? So this means X, and all the X are the members of B or elements of B. So when the common property or the condition is given, then that type of method of expressing set is known as tabular set builder method. Set builder method. Here is an example given. Suppose A is a set of all X such that X is the factors of 12. Here X is the factors of 12. Here only the property, those who are the factors of 12 is given, or this condition is given, but the elements directly is not given here, listed here. So this method is set builder method. B is a set of all X such that X is first 10 students of class 9. X is first 10 students of class 9. So this method is also set builder method. Now I'll discuss different sets. Okay, dear students. Now at first I'll say you finite set. Finite set, infinite set, and then empty set. I'll discuss today here. Finite set means, what do you mean by finite set? B is a set, or we can write N is a set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm giving the example here. And then empty set. At first I will explain finite set. Okay, dear students, now you need to be very attentive here. Finite set means if we can determine the number of elements by counting of a set, then the set is known as finite set. So I have written the definition here. The set, number of elements of which can be determined by counting, is called finite set. It means that if we can determine the number of elements of a set by counting, suppose 1, 2, 3, 4. How many elements are there in this set? 4 elements. So we can say there are 4 elements in the set by counting. This type of set is known as finite set. Now, in case of this set of natural number, here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and in this way the elements will continue here. So we can say how many elements here. It's not possible to count how many natural numbers are there. So we cannot determine here by counting. We cannot determine the number of elements here. If we cannot determine the number of elements by counting, then the set is known as infinite set. So this set n is infinite, this set A is finite. So this is finite set. And this is infinite set. Okay, dear students. So I have given some examples here. Finite set A equal to A, B, C, D, E. We can say there are 5 elements in set A, and in B 1, 3, 5, 7, 19 up to 19. If we count here, we'll get total 10 elements here. Total 10 elements here. So these two sets are finite sets. But if we see this example, A equal to set of all x such that x is odd natural numbers. Dear students, it's not possible to say how many odd natural numbers are there. Suppose here A is a set of all odd natural means 1, 3, 5, 7. In this way, the elements will continue. It will never finish. So we can say how many elements here. Number of elements is not possible to say. So this set is infinite set. This set is infinite set. Another example is also given here. Set of all natural number I have shown here. This is infinite set. Okay. Now I will show you empty set. Okay, dear students. Now see empty set. Here we have written empty set. Dear students, a set which does not contain any element. It means there is blank inside the set. There is blank inside the set. No objects or elements in the empty set. It means that the set which contains no element, is called empty set. Suppose I am writing a set. Suppose A is a set. There is no element. Just this is blank here. As there is no element, the set is A is empty. Empty set can be denoted by only second bracket. Only second bracket, or it can be denoted by a Greek letter ori. This denote empty set. So no need. Don't show in this way. This is wrong. In this case, or is the element of set. So don't express in this way. You can use only the second bracket or only the blank second bracket or this one, not both. Don't use not both. Okay? Empty set has no element. Okay, dear students, now see, if I give an example here, suppose A is a set, A equal to set of all x belongs to n. Set of all x belongs to n. Here n means the set of all natural number, means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 in this way. So we can write here, suppose 10 is less than x is less than 11. Is there any natural number who is larger than 10 but smaller than 11? It's not possible. Suppose I am writing here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Between this 10 and 11 there is no element. So this set is empty set. This is an example of empty set. It means that this set is expressed in set builder method. If I write in roster method, this will be this. This will be equal to empty set. Okay, dear students, I hope you have understood empty set. Now I will tell you another set. Now I will tell you about subset. Suppose A is a set. Elements of A are A, B, C. Now, if we take a set taking only one element A, suppose this is B. the elements of B is contained in A. If I consider another set C, suppose B, C. These elements are also is contained in A. So we can say the set B is a subset of A. This sign is known as the subset sign. This is the subset sign. Now C is also a subset of A. C is also a subset of A. But if I write a set D, suppose D contain A, D. Here element D does not contain in A. So D is not a subset of A. D is not a subset of A. D is not a subset of A. To become a subset, all the elements have to contain in the first set. Okay? Dear students, I hope you have understood about subset. Now, I will show you how many subsets can we form from a set. At first, you need to remember that empty set is a subset of any set. Empty set is a subset of any set. So, at first I will write empty set. Then, taking one element, we will form a set. This is a subset of first set of set A. This is a subset if we consider another set by single element B and single element C. All these are subsets of A. Now, if we consider two element AB, this is also contained in A. So, this is also a subset. Now, BC. This element is contained in this set, so this is also a subset of A. Now, AC. These elements also contained in this set. So, taking two elements, we will get AB, BC and CA. All these are subsets of A. Now, we can consider three elements, A, B, C. This set is also a subset of A. As every elements of A is contained in every elements of this set is contained in A. So this set is also a subset of A. Okay, dear students. So I can say every set is a subset of itself, as these two sets have the equal elements or the same elements. Okay, so we can say empty set is a subset of any set, and the set itself a subset of itself. Any set is a subset of itself. Okay, now can you tell me how many subsets are there here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Total 8 subsets we obtained from A. How many subsets? Total 8 subsets. Dear students, you can remember a formula to know how many subsets can you form or make from a set. For this, you need to know the formula, that is 2 to the power n. 2 to the power n. Here n means the number of elements of A. Number of elements of A. Number of elements of A. So, if we put here value of n is 1, 2, 3. As 3 elements here, so value of n is 3, that is 8. So, we can say the set A has 8 subsets, and if we count here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, A has 8 subsets. It means that if the number of elements of a set is n, then its number of subsets will be equal to 2 to the power n. Okay, dear students, now I will show you another term, that is proper subset. What do you mean by proper subset? Dear students, you need to remember that proper subset means the subset which contains at least one element less. I have written the definition here. Proper subset. A subset of Q of a set P is said to be a proper subset of P if there exists at least one element in P which is not contained in Q. It means that if we get any element in P which is not contained in Q, in this case we'll see that this set is equal subset. Except this equal subset, all the subsets have less element than A. All the subsets have less element than A. So all these are the proper subsets of A. So we can say except the set itself, all rest of the subsets are the proper subset of that set. So number of proper subset will be only one less, 2 to the power n minus 1. So 2 cube minus 1, 8 minus 1, that is 7. So number of proper subsets will be 2 to the power n minus 1. Okay, dear students, I hope you have understood subset and proper subsets I have discussed. Now see here, empty set is a subset of any set. Every set is a subset of itself. Every set is 2 to the power n subsets, where n is the number of elements of the set. Every set has 2 to the power n minus 1 proper subsets, where n is the number of elements of the set. Now I'll discuss equality of sets. The students, two sets are said to be equal. Two sets are said to be equal if they have the same elements. If they have the same elements. Suppose A has elements 1, 2, 3 and B has elements 1, 2, 3. A has element 1, B has 1. A has 2, B has 2. A has 3, B has 3. Then these two sets are said to be equal sets. In that case we write A equal B. A equal B. The students, I forgot to show the proper subset sign. Proper subset sign is only this. This is proper subset, and if it is subset, that sign is this one. Okay, dear students, this is equality of set. This is equality of set. In this case, we can say A is a subset of B, as every elements of A is contained in B, and every elements of B is also contained in A. So B is also a subset of A, as A is a subset of B and B is a subset of A. So you can say both are the subset of both. It means that they are equal. They are equal. This is equality of set. Okay, now I'll discuss today's first topic, that is universal set. That is universal set. Dear students, suppose U is a set. U is a set. Set of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A is a set 1, 3, 5. B is a set, that is 2, 4, 6. C is a set, suppose that is 1, 2, or we can write here 2, 3, 4. Suppose, dear students, now see, suppose we want to discuss about this three set. Now see, all these three sets are the sets of discussion. Sets of discussion. And A is a subset of U. B is also a subset of U. C is also a subset of U. In this case, this set U is the superset of all this, and this U is called the universal set. For this, the definition is written: if all the sets under discussion are included in a particular set, all these sets under discussion are included in a particular set U. Okay? That particular set is called universal set with respect to sets under discussion. It means with respect to this set, U is the universal set, and generally universal set is denoted by U. For this, I have given an example here. This example I have shown here. Okay, dear student, I hope you have understood our today's lecture. Keep practicing at home, and if you face problem, then contact with me, and be serious from the beginning. You will not get more classes in higher math. So you have to study more. If you face any problem, then contact with me, and join in our live class also. The students, so keep practicing at home, avoid by your parents. See you again. Till then, Assalamu alaikum.